Second to the last gift of the Spirit that we're going to be looking at in this segment is gift of tongues. But in a more accurate way, it's called diverse tongues. And this is the supernatural ability to be able to give an utterance in a language unknown to the speaker and sometimes to the hearer. So in other words, there may be times it is only the speaker that do not know that the hearer may know, and there are times that both of them do not even know the meaning of what is said. So that is what is called diverse tongues. So it is supernatural ability to be able to give an utterance in tongues to the speaker and sometimes to the hearer. So we need to know this tongue that we're talking about is different from the prayer language of all of us that we received when we got baptized with the Holy Spirit with the evidence of speaking in other tongues. It's different from it. This is a sudden impartation of this supernatural ability. So it's not something you brought from your house or that you have been familiar with all the time. No, it is different. And then also Paul told us in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 that diverse tongues can be utterance in unknown the language of men, or it can also be the tongues of angels. It talk about tongues of men and of angels. So diverse tongues can be either of those two. And then you should know that when we talk about the day of Pentecost, there are people that say things like, if you are speaking in tongues and so nobody has told you before that you are speaking my language, then you are speaking nonsense. No. What happened on the day of Pentecost? Acts 2 verse 4 told us they spoke with other tongues as the Spirit gave them utterance. That was what they did. It was the Holy Spirit that made those 17 different sets of people to hear God's marvelous work being spoken in their languages. That happened by the operations of the workings of miracles. So it is not that maybe 10 of them spoke in the language of, or spoke in a particular language, and 5 of them spoke this way. If 120 people begin to speak together in a place, you will discover that it will be a destructive interference. The languages will cancel themselves out, and you won't hear anything. So don't bring in the day of Pentecost into this particular matter. So utterance in tongues can come. When diverse tongues is in operation, you can be able to speak in human languages that you have not known or studied beforehand. So, and especially ministers of the gospel, evangelists that have preached across tribes, across races, they would have seen things like that happen. Recently, we have a man of God from Nigeria that preached in a Portuguese to a Portuguese congregation. When the interpreter was not flowing very well, this divine ability began to manifest through him, and he began to speak in Portuguese language fluently. Even the congregation was seriously stupefied. I was wondering how this happened. It is this ability. If you ask that pastor and say, "God, what you preached the other time in our language, do it again," he won't know anything about it. So diverse tongues enables you to be able to preach or talk or give an utterance or a message in the tongue of men that you have not learned before. You can also speak in the language of the angels. Many times it can be maybe you are giving them instruction by the Holy Spirit. So these are the things with respect to diverse tongues. It's different from the language that you receive as a prayer language. It's just the divine ability to speak an utterance in tongues that you do not know before, but need an interpretation. God bless you.